By the way, something else I just want to point out because I think it's so crucial to our growth. There are basically three things that we need to be saved, that we have to do. That's our part. Do you know what they are? Actually, if you can do a quick recall and a rerun of the prayer, they were all three there. Can you be a Christian without information? Part of what we studied a few weeks ago is that it's important that we teach. That was the first thing Jesus did, right? He taught. And remember we had the diagram over here. That in the way He reached people that were lost is He taught them. Then there's something that they have to do with that. What is it? They have to use choice. They have to resolve. They have to take a hold of it. We have to internalize it. We have to make it a part of ourselves. We have to say, okay, this I want to be active and alive in my own life. So we choose it. And then what? Then we do. Which requires, God has to give me the information. God has to help me in even making my choices. He has to help me understand. He has to help me to see the difference between right and wrong, the difference between saved and lost, the difference between His life and the worldly life. He has to help me to understand that. And then He has to empower me or I can't do. Does He have to do anything here? What does He have to do for me to have information?
Teach. He's written the Bible.
He has to teach? How many of you have been teachers in one form or another? Okay, how many? Most of you. Okay, over half of you. Can you stand in front of a group of people and teach them something they do not want to know? Or to be blunt, and maybe it's not a good way of saying it, can you teach somebody that's too stupid to understand it? And you can take the stupid any way you jolly well please. I'm not getting in trouble over that. But if their mind isn't capable of understanding it, if they've turned their mind off, don't want to understand it, if they just say, I'm not going to learn it, any number of things, can you put information understandably into the mind of another person?
Yes.
Can you force it in there?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. You really can't.
If you teach them enough.
You can put it out there.
They have to be willing to receive it.
The brain has to receive it, doesn't it? We have fuel pumps on our automobiles. What does it do? It pumps fuel. It takes it from the tank and puts it under pressure to send it to something. Carburetor, fuel injectors, depending on which your vehicle has, most of them fuel injectors today. If you have a carburetor and you're pushing the fuel into the carburetor, if the carburetor says, I'm not taking it, can the fuel pump make the car run?
No.
Not at all. And see, the carburetor, the injectors, have to receive. So God not only has to provide the information, God has to help our minds to be receptive, to understand, to comprehend. How can a sinful human mind comprehend divine principles for which we've never seen? So God is doing something with our mental capacity, isn't He? Why do you think we're told, always pray and ask for the Holy Spirit before you study? There's why. There's why.
The Holy Spirit's got to be revealed before you know how to ask it.
Yes. So the more He reveals, then the more we can ask to have revealed. It's a growing process, isn't it? Okay? Then we have to choose it. Understanding it, comprehending it, seeing its value, then we choose it. But if God did not empower us, could we obey Him? No. Can't do it. It's not possible. So God's involved with all of them, but I am involved with all of them too. And my choice is in the heart of it. Because if I choose not to hear it, if I choose not to understand it, God can't get it in my brain. It requires a willingness on my part to understand it. It requires a willingness to accept the power of God to be able to perform what He wants me to do. Now, this do right here is the Christian life. It's living like Him. It's changed character. It's changed attitudes. It's changed motives, changed behavior. It's everything, isn't it? It's the lifestyle.